Freedom's greetings, Helldivers. Ervin here, and today we're taking a look at everything I know so far about the Platoon system in Helldivers 2. We are on the cusp of beginning our great work, the Democratic Space Station. We have a tall order on our hands, wrestling control of a large portion of automaton space long enough to get this new station up and running. But I'm sure a lot of you have been wondering, what does this new station mean for us? What does it amount to? Well, we have what we believe to be some of the answers, and this is going to be your last chance to turn back, as we are going to be talking about some leaks in this video, although none of which will be story related. Only leaks regarding new weaponry for the Helldivers, as well as this upcoming mechanic. With that out of the way, though, let's get into it. So, the Democratic Space Station construction order is as it is described, a massive construction based undertaking in which the planet we settle on to build it, in this case, it'll be Gilliver, is going to need to be properly defended for not just this major order, but weeks to come. We are currently theorizing this chain of major orders to get the station up and running is going to span the next few weeks, likely ending on or around Liberty Day, an in game holiday, an homage to the game's main inspiration, Starship Troopers. On this holiday, we are going to be receiving the bolt action ceremonial rifle, the Constitution, which, don't get your hopes up for a new super powerful bolt action primary or anything. This weapon in Helldivers 1 and now has never been intended for mainstream use in combat, as it's a faithful recreation of a historical weapon, the M1903 Springfield. There is also talks that there will be a new free war bond releasing on Liberty Day, but that is an unfounded rumor as far as I'm aware, although I am hopeful for it. I'm getting a bit sidetracked though. The point is, this MO doesn't end here, so don't get comfy once we've secured the construction site. There are going to be many more battles ahead to get this thing running. So, what happens after the DSS is up and running? Well, it looks like we'll be able to create our own clans or guilds, whichever you know the system as from other games and genres. In this case, they're called platoons. Helldivers will be able to create and name a platoon to invite friends and allies to. The system will give you a chat channel with which you can speak to your other platoon members and better coordinate your efforts towards conquering the galaxy and retaking our lands from the mutant, the alien, and the heretic. Wait, wrong game. Anyway, you'll also have your very own space station that you can move around the galactic map, granting bonuses to the platoon members fighting on the planet below. This means you'll now have a better line of communication within the game to other Helldivers with a clear visual representation of what planet your platoon is currently invested in, as these space stations are going to have a lengthy 24-hour cooldown on being moved around the galactic map, as well as a reason to coordinate and work together on said planet thanks to the bonuses granted by the station. So, what are the benefits to the station and how do they work? You're likely wondering. Well, your platoon, like your Helldiver, is going to have a leveling system. Your platoon will level up thanks to the activities of your members, likely through the experience gained by the members. This is likely not only going to be recorded on some form of in game leaderboard, but allow access to further bonuses, of which all but one are currently entirely speculation. So I'll be going over the one we know for sure, and that is your platoon stratagem. The platoon stratagem will be set by the leader, and with any luck, activated by donating requisition slips to the platoon, as it would give a much needed way of utilizing this dead end of a currency. These new powerful stratagems will be added to the loadouts of the platoon when dropping on the planet in which the space station is currently orbiting. These currently include the MS-220 missile silo. A deployable silo that comes with a laser designator with which will take your support slot while carried. Using this designator, you can instruct the missile to fire from the silo at any target anywhere on the map. And as this missile has enough demolition force to do so, it can be used to destroy, most notably, jammers from outside its effective range, as well as detector towers. The damage is, of course, subject to change, but it is also very likely to be an on demand kill order for any active heavy units on the map with a relatively controlled blast radius. Definitely a this one guy and or building in particular kind of stratagem for those with a more precise scalpel in mind for their selection. Next is the high explosive machine gun emplacement. Basically, every bit as powerful as the current HMG emplacement, but with an AoE explosion and heavy staggering effect tied to each round, making it the crowned king of defensive operations and locking down choke points. We also have reason to believe the SEAF support drop will be available for selection with platoons as well, allowing you to pelican in some meat shields to take the attention away from you as you valiantly reposition.
还真他妈给呀！我操了，这是什么啊？
This one was leaked very early on, and although I thought it would be one of the stratagems that we'd see scrapped, it's apparently on its way with the Platoon update. There is also potential for medical supply pod drops and a medical tac pack. The supply pod that can be deployed for an additional 16 stims for those of you who somehow, despite Command's best efforts to give you more than you could ever want, still need more stims for entirely medical and non recreational purposes, as they do, in fact, have no addictive properties whatsoever. There's also reason to believe that these stims won't be any ordinary stims, but stims directly from General Brash's personal stash, able to give our soldiers temporary superhuman like abilities to make what's on the inside match the outside. The medical tac pack, in similar fashion, is rumored to possess the new cocktail holding 8 stims in total for distribution amongst your squad, and definitely not hoarded all for yourself. These stim based platoon stratagems are still heavily a work in progress, so we really don't know entirely too much about them yet. But I can tell you, regardless of what Arrowhead cooks up for these, they are not going to be nearly as interesting as what we have coming up next, which is the carpet bomb. With a hefty deployment time of 20 seconds, this new stratagem will call in an entirely new aircraft, the BT 1316 Bomber. This releases a devastating 65-meter long drop of 200 kg bombs, capable of destroying structures as well as all forms of life in the radius. With this kind of firepower, dropping hate from this thing's payload is likely going to be instantly good night for any super bases, reinforcement waves, or teammates caught anywhere near it. As far as reusability, we know this stratagem will have 3 uses, but the nature of its cooldown or reusability is currently completely unknown to us. Now, I've saved the best for last with this lineup, ladies and gentlemen, for your consideration, the 10,000 kg atomic bomb. This thing makes the 500 kg look like a lightweight, atomizing the battlefield and everything in its landing zone following a call in to Eagle 1. The devastation of this bomb is unmatched by anything else in our arsenal. It is the peak of destruction. It's gone through 3 iterations between the patches, first with a radius of 95 meters, then 210 meters, and now it's got a radius of 350 meters in the files currently. There is just about no chance of getting clear of this not even bunker buster, but map buster of a stratagem. Woe truly be upon thee, right up, left, right, down, up, down. I can't imagine this thing will really ship with a 350-meter range, as that would glass an absolutely massive chunk of the map straight up. But with a 20-minute cooldown it's currently hooked to, I could definitely see it being the case. And as someone who loved the Shredder missile in the first game just because it was funny, I gotta say, I'm excited for this. With that all being said, how are you going to get your hands on this thing? I'm glad you asked. Join my community Discord, the Ghost Divers, today, and upon the implementation of the Platoon system, if elected,
There I am, Gary, there I am!
I promise each and every one of you your very own nuclear launch codes. And best of all, I'm going to make the automatons pay for it. That's about all I know about the Platoon system and how it'll function thus far. Keep in mind, nothing I've covered in this video is set in stone. Although it comes from leaks, Arrowhead could always change their minds at any given time leading up to the implementation, so take everything here with a healthy, non-lethal dose of salt. That being said, though, I'm incredibly excited for this edition as it opens up so many more possibilities for progression, as well as a greater sense of unity when it comes to our decision making on the Galactic War. And speaking of unity in the Galactic War, if you're bug diving right now, I will find you. I'm serious. Thanks for watching till the end and have a wonderful day. I'll see you next time. Ah! Shit!
Yeah, orbital right there.
I just realized we could walk onto his head from the rock.